Hey everybody, Jane here. And yeah, I'm riding the struggle bus right now, and I just thought I wanted to make a video talking about that. So if you're here for my regular bookish content, sadly, there is not going to be much in the way of bookish content today. However, I do want to explain a little bit of why I haven't been uploading bookish content for, when I'm recording this, about 4 weeks, and I'm not really sure when this will go up. Hopefully this week, can't be sure. So, as a lot of you probably know, I suffer from anxiety. And that anxiety is just a part of my life. I have a condition called polycystic ovarian syndrome, and unfortunately, one of the side effects is anxiety. Now, this anxiety tends to rear its head on a low-level form anytime I have to do anything out of the ordinary. If I have a deadline, I tend to feel anxious. If I have the first day back at work after a weekend, I tend to have low-level panic attacks. Just any social situations, anything like that. And for me, what that feels like is as if my fight and flight system just goes from 0 to 100 like that. So if you've ever seen a deer, it'll hear a noise and it'll look up and perk up and look around and decide if it wants to bolt or not. Once it does a threat assessment, then it'll either continue eating or it'll take off. What happens with me is my body basically can't do that threat assessment. It's more like I'm sitting, my system is sitting there eating grass, it hears a noise, and it takes off because it is sure a tiger is chasing it. And unfortunately, that happens very often. So I do want to talk a little bit about what that feels like, what the symptoms are for me. Now, I'm not saying that this goes for anybody else's anxiety disorder, and I am, just so you know, I'm seeing a doctor to try to get some medicine adjustments, and I'm also seeing a psychologist to try to get a more exact diagnosis and a little bit more help. I've seen a counselor in the past, and this is something I've dealt with my whole life, so it's not really anything new. I'm just having a really bad flare-up right now. Over the past 4 weeks, I've had one of the worst flare-ups. I've had like 5 major flare-ups in my life where they were really, really debilitating. And last month was one of them. But let's talk about what a normal panic attack for me is like. So adrenaline, I feel uncomfortable, I feel anxious. A lot of times I'll have digestive issues, diarrhea, nausea. Sometimes I'll sweat. Sometimes I'll get really cold and feel like I can't warm up. Sometimes I'll feel dizzy, minor headaches. Just, it's very uncomfortable. But a lot of times too, I'll wake up and be like, I wake up feeling that panic, feeling my heart pound. It's almost like you wake up from a nightmare. But the thing is, because I live with this on an almost daily basis, this isn't particularly debilitating. These are low level. I have things that I can do to work through. My doctors taught me stretching exercises and breathing exercises and kind of shaking your body exercises. All of these things to kind of help me deal with the low level attacks. So they generally don't get too in the way of my life. The biggest issue they cause is like having to need to use the bathroom when I'm in a social situation sometimes, or being a little uncomfortable. But if you were to talk to me, a lot of times you wouldn't necessarily know I was having an anxiety attack when it's low level, because this is just part of my life and my medical condition, and I'm used to it. However, a more severe attack, which is kind of what I've been going through, is a lot more debilitating. So what does that feel like, look like? It's rough. So basically, my adrenaline is pumping to the point that I feel like I'm gonna die. I mean, it is your body going like we're gonna die. Heart pounding. I went to the ER for one of the attacks I had. My heart rate was 140. I don't know what a normal heart rate is supposed to be. Apparently less than that, because they kept telling me you have to take deep breaths. We have to calm you down because you're going to pass out. I didn't feel like I was going to pass out. Oh, golly, no. Hey guys, Future Jane here. My camera stopped working, and when it returned, the audio wasn't in sync. So the rest of this is not synced up. I'm so sorry about that, but I couldn't re-record. There was no chance of me. I did feel very freaked out. So my heart rate was high. My chest hurt. I felt like I couldn't breathe. I was gulping breaths. I couldn't take these deep breaths. It was like, and then on top of it, the nausea, I didn't throw up, but I felt like I was going to. Diarrhea, that did happen. Chills, sweats, all the good symptoms, plus body tremors. That's another thing. If I get too stressed out, sometimes I will have involuntary like muscle spasms. It's rough. So anyway, the point is, those can be pretty debilitating. Now I do have medicine I can take when that happens, but I have to be careful because number one, this medicine knocks me on my butt, and it's also very addictive. So it's not something that I want to take often. And recently, my anxiety has been really high. I actually went for about a week where anytime I wasn't focused on something, I was having a fairly serious panic attack. So if I couldn't focus enough to read. I could still watch TV, and I had to do that to sleep. So I would lay down, I'd have the TV on, and as long as I was concentrating on what was going on the TV, I was okay. But as soon as I turned the TV off or tried to go without that, I couldn't calm down. The panic would just rise right up. So that has been really rough. I also was unable to eat for about 3 days. And then when I was able to start eating again, it was really, really light food. And it's been 4 weeks now, and we're still not back to a normal diet. I'm not really sure why, but I currently find meat completely repulsive. Like the idea of a chicken breast. Now, if like chicken, pieces of chicken is in my chicken noodle soup or something like that, I'm fine. But like a piece of meat. So a chicken breast or a steak or anything like that, which I normally am very much into eating, I can't handle any of that right now. And I'm not really sure what's up with that. So we're still struggling with the effects of it, but I am sleeping more regularly. I am managing to be able to not have attacks, doing things that aren't just, focus. And I can read again, thank goodness. But yeah, so it's been a real struggle, and it sucks. I do feel like I'm on the upswing. I feel like I'm doing better, but I did want to explain like why I haven't been uploading, because when these attacks started, I said I need to cut down to just the necessities of life. Like if it is not life or death, it isn't happening. So basically, my kids still got to school. I still went to work. I did trade one work day with a coworker. I was having a really bad attack one night, and I did have to trade because I could not go. But kids still got to school. Everybody got fed, even though sometimes it was, we're having McDonald's Happy Meals because mama can't cook. And mama can't eat either, so just get you Happy Meals, we'll call it a day. Laundry got done, but everything else went to the wayside. I love my YouTube channel. I love being a YouTuber, but this is a hobby. So this very much got pushed to the side. And my ghostwriting did too. For those of you who may be familiar with this, I ghostwrite on Fiverr. And I actually went and shut completely down my Fiverr for now. So I'm not taking any clients. I do have one client I'm in the middle of a long-term project with, and I messaged him and I just explained that I was having some issues right now. He and I can start working together once I feel a little better. My private clients, the same. I messaged them. I said, look, I'm not okay right now. I can't be creative. I haven't really actively written for like 3 weeks now, but I'm planning to today, so yay me. Like I said, I'm on the uptake now, but it has been a rough couple weeks. But anyway, I just wanted to talk a little bit about life with anxiety, and I hope that things are going to be okay now. Generally, this isn't something that happens to me a lot. It does happen sometimes, especially when things are very out of my control or when stressful life stuff happens. I actually at one point had a really serious attack at work to the point that I quit shortly after, because not only did I have an attack at work and everybody thought I was pretty crazy, but I also just felt like at that time, because of the stuff going on in my life, the anxiety was too debilitating to work. And that was at the time I was married and my husband was about to deploy to Afghanistan. And I was working at Walmart and I had a serious attack. Like, by the time my attack was in full effect, I was literally under the register shaking. Like, I curled up under the register in that little box under the register that you always see where the trash can usually is. I had curled up under there shaking and I could not calm down. It was a really rough day. So, yes, sometimes it's bad. Normally, I carry on. Everything's fine. Right now, I am carrying on with the most important things in my life and slowly building back up. So I'm hoping to start creating content again this week and be able to continue on my channel, because again, I really love this. I want to do it. It's something I'm passionate about, but because it is a hobby and not my job, when I would go through things like this, when I'm having mental health problems, this could happen again. It could be a time when I'm struggling and just not going to be uploading much. So that's where I've been. I am back. I am feeling overall better. But unfortunately, this is just something that I'm going to have to live with my entire life. Thank you for listening. I hope that I have helped you if either you have somebody in your life who struggles with anxiety, or if you struggle with anxiety, to feel like you're not alone. It's tough, it sucks, but we're gonna get through it and it's okay. All right, guys, this is Jane. Thank you for your patience. Thank you for listening. I will see you next time. Bye.